Hey, welcome back to Boku Vlog. Today we got some pork ribs, baby back style. There's 4. I may do 3. I may throw all 4 on. Not sure yet. But let's get started. And we're going to put these on the Oklahoma Joe using maple and apple wood today. We'll be back. All right, we're back. We're actually working on this last one here. We're going to take off the membrane. The only thing I did was make a little slit with a knife. I'm using some paper towel. And sometimes it doesn't come off this easy. A lot of times it does. It just depends. But there's most of the, make a little slit over here. Use some paper towel for grip. And that's what you want to see. We're going to trim these up a little bit. We'll be back and we'll get them sauced up here with some seasoning, some rub here in just a minute. All right, we are back. We're going to sauce or throw some rub on some of these. I'm not going to show every single one, but I'm going to explain what I do. So once I take the membranes off and trim them up a little bit, I like to cut my ribs in half. That's just me. The reason I started doing it was because for a while, the only thing I had to smoke ribs on was my Weber kettle. And to fit them on there better away from the fire, I cut them in half and I could position them different ways, and started having really good results when I started doing that. And then I had a Dyna-Glo for a while, and I kept up that method because I couldn't fit a full rack of ribs in it without it bending, because it wasn't wide enough or long enough. And when I got the Oklahoma Joe, I was like, well, I'm just going to leave them whole. And first couple times I did it, didn't have good results, and so I started cutting them in half again. And sure enough, they were just like putting them on the Weber or the Dyna-Glo. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to wrap them in foil somewhere in the process. It's not necessarily going to be the 3-2-1 method. Is 3 hours on the smoker, 2 hours in foil, then 1 hour on the back on the Oklahoma Joe. But it's going to be somewhere in there. Sometimes I only smoke them for 2.5 hours. Sometimes I go full 3. Sometimes I wrap them for an hour. Sometimes an hour and a half to 2 hours. So it just depends on what they look like. But sometimes that last hour, instead of putting them back on the Oklahoma Joe, is I'll finish them. I'll just put them in a pan, and I'll finish them off in the oven, especially when it's super cold outside, and they don't get any more smoke flavor, but they're still pretty darn good. So let's go ahead and get this going. So I'm going to use mustard as a onion base, and then as far as seasoning, it says Weber, but it's not Weber seasoning. I'm using nothing special. I actually mixed some holy garlic barbecue rub and some Famous Dave, about a 50-50
Do the sides.
mix. That might be a little bit too much mustard, but it'll still burn off. And I'm not going to bury this too bad. I'll pat it a little bit, but I'm not going to smear it. I don't want the pores and stuff to get covered up.
It smells weird.
It smells good. All right. You can also hit the sides up too if you want. All right, so this is what we're going to do to all of them. And I'm not going to show the whole process, but we'll get them on. I am doing all 4 racks today. I'll probably give a half a rack to my neighbor. All right, we'll be back. All right, we are back. It's about 11:15 in the morning. We're going to shoot for about 250 degrees. We're shooting for about a 6-hour cook, give or take 30 minutes or so. I am using a water pan. Sometimes I use it, sometimes I don't. I decided to use it today. I haven't actually used one in a while. And we're going to let these set for a little bit. We are going to move these around because the firebox is on the right side. So it's going to be a different temperature on the right than it is the left. Sometimes it can be 30 degrees, sometimes it can be as much as 50 or 60 degrees. So we are going to move these around a little bit from time to time today, and just to make sure that it's all going to be a nice, even cook. All right, we'll be back. All right, welcome back. These been on right at an hour. we're gonna spray them down. I'm using a 50-50 of apple juice and apple cider vinegar. What I'm gonna go ahead and do is just move these around a little bit, because I don't want the right to get done before the left. So we're gonna try to do an even cook, because I know this is running about 35 degrees hotter on the other side. The tongs that I have aren't very good. I don't know what I did with the ones I normally do. Maybe out in the garage somewhere. Right now I'm going to leave the middle ones in there. I'm going to move them a little bit. Sorry, my tongs aren't closing all the way and it's hard to grab them. All right, I'm just going to give them another quick spray. All right, we'll come back and check on them here in a little bit. It's about 12:15, so they've been on right at 1 hour. Another quick update. I just sprayed them down and I did move some of them around. Don't forget to keep up on your water pan. I need to add some more water. They're looking good, so we're about 2 hours in. I think I'm gonna keep them unwrapped right now. I may go ahead and go the full 3 hours, but we'll be back. All right, we're back. So we went to about the 2.5 hour mark. Actually about 2 hours and 45 minutes, just a little under that. So there's different ways I do this. Sometimes I'll go ahead and just put barbecue sauce. That's what we're doing today. I'm using a rib rack barbecue sauce, honey based. I've been on a honey kick here lately. Sometimes I'll just put brown sugar and some vinegar, apple cider vinegar on this, but we're not doing that today. Sometimes I'll do barbecue sauce and vinegar, apple cider vinegar. I'm running low on apple cider vinegar. It's fine, but just kind of keep it moist. I'm not going to bury it. We're just going to do that. I'm going to wrap them up and we're going to throw them right back on the grill. Hey, we're back real quick. I'm trying to get this done. We got some flies in here. They're not getting on the food, but they're flying around. I am doing just a little bit of apple juice. I'm just trying to get it on here on the sides. Not much. That's about it. It helps keep it hydrated while it's in the foil. The heavy duty industrial style foil is the best. I couldn't find any yesterday at the one store and I wasn't going to drive all over town, so I'm using regular. So I've got three layers spread out. I want it kind of thick, not real flimsy where everything's going to poke through. All right, we're going to get these finished getting these wrapped up, get them back on for at least an hour and a half, maybe 2. And we'll do an update here in a few. All right, here's a quick update. We're about 45 or so minutes in. I moved them around twice already. I'm just trying to keep an even cook. This side is cooking, the right side's cooking a lot hotter. So they're looking good. About another hour, I would say, and we're gonna pull them and put them in a pan and throw them back on for about a half hour to an hour. We'll be back. All right, we are back. We're gonna take some of these ribs out. They've been on for about 5 hours. And actually, let me go ahead and do this. Last thing I want to do is use this pan, so I've got something else I can use. All right, so we're going to use this pan here. They actually look really good. Normally I'll throw them back in the oven for about a half hour to an hour. I think today they're going to need another hour. They're actually looking really good though. They are almost done. But I'm going to put them back on the smoker because I have other stuff going on. I've got mushrooms and zucchini and potatoes, baked potatoes, going in the oven. So not doing the oven method today, so we're definitely going back on the smoker. And if you can invest in some cooking gloves, it's the way to go. I don't know how many times I've burnt myself. And the biggest thing is, too, is when you wrap these up, you know, get the heavy duty foil. I didn't do it today. And so I had to double up. And the biggest thing is if you don't double up and you poke a hole in your tin foil, it doesn't do any good because all the juices are just gonna run out. But I'm gonna finish getting these out. I don't think I'm gonna mop them back up today. I may put a little bit of sauce on them, but sometimes I just don't like a whole lot of sauce on my ribs. So there's enough on there right now. I may just leave it and we'll throw it back on the smoker. We'll be back here in a little bit. All right, we're back. Got them on the smoker. I like leaving them in this. You can put them back right on the grates if you want, if you choose to put them back on the smoker. At this point, just kind of let everything drip on each other. It works out for me. It may not work out for you, but I'm going to leave it like this for an hour. The sauce that I used earlier is still on. I'm not going to re-sauce them up and make it too saucy. Kind of want them a little bit dry a little bit, so hopefully some of this dries out a little bit. But they are looking good. They're going to be ready here in about an hour, so we'll be back. All right, last update. It's all done and I sliced it up. It's falling off the bone a little bit of tug. That's what I was shooting for today anyway. So we are getting ready to eat. We'll see you guys next time.